Hi, it's me, Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe to my channel and join me at Patreon. Link in the description. Freddie shut the refrigerator door. All the males at Miss Fairland's are girls. Even the dormies. All the older girls like powdered and perfumed, sweet but a little saucy. Miss Fairland's and Haraton are very special places, almost unique. Carol Sue will be in Miss Fairland's this fall, along with Sandy. Will you like that? I guess. So long as Sandy doesn't blab how he gets me to play house with Tabitha. Compliment him and then tell him not to make a big deal of it. Just consider it practice for when you're a dama and you and he have your own home. Beth began to fold mayonnaise into the mixture. Why don't you empty the dishwasher so you can stack in your dirties? Okay. I don't have to marry Carol Sue. Do I? I mean if he stays clingy and underfoot. No, sweetheart, you don't have to marry him. Of course, Vicky, and I think you two might be a match, and there's no girl quite like the girl next door, so to speak. But we'll live if you two find each someone else. Fetch me the bread and lettuce when you're done. I don't know if I'll get married. Girls can be nice sometimes, but they can get in the way. And there would be all that responsibility. I might just stay here with you. Sweetheart, as much as I love you, part of that means at some time you have to leave and be on your own. When that happens, you'll want someone else to want you, to love you. It's normal to want to be part of a pair. If you take a wife, you must love and cherish him, appreciate what he does for you as he appreciates what you do for him. Freddie set a loaf of whole wheat on the island top. No crusts on mine, please. You want to make yours? After you get the plates and bowls out. Okay. Freddie started to turn away. Mom? Yes, sweetheart. Will you ever get married again? Maybe someday. Right now I've got you two and the business. There's not a lot of time to find someone special, someone who fits me and would be fine with you too. Would you take a wife? Or a husband? That would depend on who I found. But I've been a wife, and a wife for me might be more comfortable with Sandy. So I suppose I would look first for a wife. Freddie set the plates on the island and began to make her sandwich. I think I'd like that best if you do marry again. Are you giving me your permission to look? Are you wanting me to marry again? Not really. But you said it was normal to want to be a pair. And Daddy's been gone for 4 years now. I guess if you found someone who really liked you. And us. I just want you to be happy. Thank you, sweetheart. I'll let you know if I start to get interested. Beth ladled soup into bowls. Why don't you go get Sandy while I take the food in? Okay. Wake him gently now. Chestnut pony puffs bobbed in acknowledgement as Freddie headed for the hall door. Beth occupied her place at the head of the table, looking out into the garden, the hydrangeas now deep in the house shadow of the last glimmers of light. The warm glow from the brass ball light fixture would soon blot out her view. Sandy was the first in, still rubbing sleep from his eyes. His blonde hair was a bit flat on one side from the couch pillow, but his curls were still stiff and round. Freddie trailed behind, herding her little brother along to his place. Now then, which one of you will say grace? Sandy? All three heads bent forward. God bless this food to our bodies. And God bless Mommy for making it. Amen. I helped too. Yes, you did, Freddie. And you were very helpful. Sandy, you will help me with the dishes when we're done. Okay, Mommy. Did you have a nice nap? Uh-huh. Sandy's reply was barely heard from a mouth full of crackers. Don't talk with your mouth full, Sandy. If you are asked a question while you are chewing, take a sip and swallow before your reply. Yes, Mommy. Did you have a dream? Yes, Mommy. What was it about? I was in a house in a big room and I was dancing. With someone? By myself. I was waiting for someone, I think. Then I was in the kitchen. And then? I don't remember. Beth patted Sandy's hand. That's all right. Lots of dreams fade away after we wake up. I dream too. That's nice, Freddie. What do you dream about? Lots of things. Flower gardens. And scoring in softball. And soccer. But I don't like soccer. Do you dream that one often? No. Just the other night. Was it scary? No. I don't know why I thought of it. It was odd, since I don't like soccer and don't play that position. I imagine it doesn't mean anything. Or maybe you're facing something new, something you're not sure about. Can't think of anything like that. Oh well, it probably doesn't matter. Beth spooned soup, catching up with the children. She looked up to see the supper tableau faintly reflected in the window glass, the outside light gone. Do you dream, Mommy? Sometimes, Sandy. More than I remember, I'm sure. What about? Sandy started on his sandwich. Lots of things. Work, sometimes. Us, a lot. About your futures, sometimes. And sometimes I just dream. You dream about dreaming, Mom? No, Freddie. Sometimes your dreams aren't about anything here. Just pleasant dreams. Beaches. Mountains. Streams. Flying. Like Peter Pan and Wendy? Sometimes, Sandy. Or sometimes just floating. Sometimes up, sometimes down, softly like gently falling snow. That sounds wonderful. It can be. Like Judy in The Wizard of Oz. You know, somewhere, over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly. The children's chorus chimed in. Beth smiled. And there you can become whatever you want to become. But there's no place like home. Is there, Mommy? No, Sandy, there isn't. And someday you will leave my nest to make a pleasant home for your family. Would you like that? Sandy nodded as he chewed his sandwich. He reached for his lemonade before answering. Sam would make a wonderful dama. Wait, till I tell Sam you want to play house for real. You'll do no such thing, Freddie. Sandy and Sam will work that out themselves without any teasing from you. Besides, it's years before that could happen, and lots could happen. A double wedding? Vicky and me? Each escorting her girl down the same aisle? Why don't you bring in the puddings while you think about that, Freddie? Pudding? What flavor? Banana. Oh, goody. The rest of the meal passed quickly. The only sounds were the scraping of spoons and the slurping of lemonade. May I be excused? Yes, Freddie. I hope you stuff the witch. Me too. No, Sandy, not you. You stay and help me clear. Remember? Oh, okay. It won't take long. You bring in the rest of the dishes while I load the dishwasher with the things I used to prepare. Once we've loaded up and bagged the trash, you can go read for a while before you go to bed. How does an early tuck-in sound? I did have a nap. Still, it's been a long day, getting our hair done and having guests. If you feel sleepy, I'll read you a fable. If I feel sleepy? If you feel sleepy. Okay. Cleanup went in a flash, Sandy trotting back and forth with the dirty dishes. Beth never had to worry that Sandy, unlike Freddie, would try to carry too much in one trip. Sandy got another lesson in using the dishwasher, filling the soap tray and being shown which cycle to choose with pots as well as dishes. Soon enough, Beth sent Sandy to the recreation room to read for a while she turned out the lights and hauled the trash bag to the roller bin by the back door. No time like the present, she rolled the bin down the drive for the morning pickup before heading back to the recreation room to watch her children, look at a booking report, and think about what she might do for more help at work. Beth tried to focus on the numbers swimming before her. She thought the trip commitment numbers looked good through the end of the year, but without comparable numbers from the prior year, she couldn't be sure. The report was something else to have revised, if the data were available. The job description was also swimming into focus, someone who could make the computer hum, revise and compose brochures as well as communicate Cumberland Tour's needs with Brenda Tyndale of DSS. Tomorrow, she would have to sit down with Jane to see what they could do. He would know if any of the tour guides might be promising. Freddie was still engrossed in her game, having progressed to level 9. Sandy had just finished another illustrated book, suitable for young girls, written and published by Omphale Press. He stretched, yawned, covered his mouth with the back of his hand. Sleepy, darling? Sandy nodded. A little. Shall I tuck you in? Tell me a story? Of course. I don't get to do that nearly often enough. You'll be all right, Freddie? Freddie hunched closer to the screen. Beth helped Sandy off the couch, holding his hand in hers. Freddie. A puffing sound followed by thunder rolled from the speakers. Freddie relaxed as the rewards screen scrolled. She nodded. All right. Up to bed we go. I can do it myself, Mommy. Of course you can, but I like holding your hand. Don't you like holding mine? Sandy looked up, sleepy eyes smiling for a moment. Oh, yes. Sandy's hand was warm in hers as Beth guided him down the back hall, up the side hall into the foyer, and up the stairs. He was rubbing sleep from his eyes by the time they reached his door. Undress me? You're not that helpless, young lady. But I'll get your nightgown and a hanger while you get undressed. Okay. Beth stood in the closet, running her finger down the pile of gowns. Something light, sleeveless? She dug out a thin cotton gown with ruffles on the hem and around the shoulder straps. It was light blue, Sandy's favorite color, after yellow, with little yellow bunnies. She plucked his thin blue robe off its hanger, draping it over her arm. When Beth emerged from the closet, Sandy was down to his socks and panties, straightening the material of the yellow playsuit that lay on the bed. Off with everything. You know you shouldn't sleep in your panties. Yes, Mommy. Sandy pulled out the thin waistband, sliding his panties down his legs. Then he hopped up on the coverlet of his princess bow bed to take off his socks. Sandy? Yes, Mommy. You know to pull the covers back first. I'm sure you're clean, but better to build the habit of being safe rather than sorry. The fewer times we have to clean a coverlet, the longer it will last. To have pretty things, we have to take care of them. Sorry, Mommy. Sandy reached back to push up. Don't bother now. Just try to remember next time. Sandy settled back, crossed a leg over a knee to remove the sock. Beth got a full view of her girl's parts. They were still small and pink, hairless and innocent, as were his legs. There were no signs of early puberty, or that he was excited from Samantha's presence that day. His waist nipped in a tiny bit, the result of his daily corset wear. As he grew, height would shape him more distinctly, giving him a waist much like a modern girl, or maybe even a bit smaller if he wanted to model or perform, and would put up with extra constriction. If Carol Sue would do it to be in his mother's productions, then Sandy would. He'd be something sweet and petite for an arm to slip around. Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.